Hey, welcome back. Somebody asked online for a video about brakes. So here's what I did. It's got a 2011 Crown Victoria Police Interceptor front suspension on it. I put upper A-arms are new. All the bushings are new. The wheel bearings are new. I just had the rotors turned because they were rusty. So I just had them turned and put them on. They're dirty now, but new brake pads. I ran copper nickel brake line and it runs over under the engine. I used the factory locations. Came over and ran into a Willwood brake distribution so you could adjust how much goes to the front or rear. And this is off of I bought it off Amazon. It's for 2008. I'll get the model numbers and put the model numbers up. Master cylinder with a Hydroboost. I mounted the Hydroboost to a steel plate. This steel plate is actually off of the frame where I cut this from a long bed to a short bed. So I had extra steel, so I cut that. So this is mounted to that steel plate and going to the factory location. Back here, and I have the factory emergency brake. It's got a pull handle. I'll show you on the inside. So going back here, my grandpa ordered this. You think of it as like the 1500 heavy duty because it came with the 352 V8 4-speed with a granny gear and a Dana 60 rear end. So this brake kit, this wheel spacer, I'm not running it. Don't worry. I'm just using it to set it on the ground and roll it back and forth. I'm not driving it with those. Those are coming off when I get the wheels. Has a Dana 60. It's a 60-2 that had the wheel bearings were toast. So I redid those wheel bearings. And I actually took a Dan's driveline. They did a great job on it. But ran, again, that copper nickel brake line from the distribution block on the other side. Runs over here. The factory disc brakes run up here. I will put the model number as well of what I used. So when you pull the emergency brake, it pulls this, locks up the rear, and all the factory bracketing and everything is still in place. So yeah, it should work. This, like I said, this is a Summit Racing kit for a Ford 9-inch, and I just had to do spacers. For now, there's washers there. Don't worry, that's temporary. I'm just doing that. It came with spacers, but they weren't big enough, so I needed bigger spacers, so I need to change that out. I haven't driven it yet, so don't worry. Yeah, so this came with a Dana 60 with 352 gears and a limited slip rear end, so that all went back in, new bearings on not only the center section, but also on the axle bearings, and these are Yukon axles that I'll also put that model number up if you guys want it, because I wanted to change from the 5x5 bolt pattern to match the front, the 5x4.114 or 5x4.5. So I needed to change the axles, which is why I went with the Yukon axles. I went with Yukon axles, and these are longer wheel studs for because I plan on drag racing this, so NHRA required longer wheel studs. And I need to put on Caltrack bars. Haven't done that yet either. But, so that's how that brake line is run, and I'll put the model numbers in the video so you guys have those model numbers and the axle numbers as well. So let's go inside and I'll show you how I did that. On the brakes, showed you the brakes, how it is all ran, and it still has the emergency brake here that works. So this just ties straight into the rear calipers. The only thing is if they lose brake fluid, if they lose cylinder or pressure, that's not going to work because that works off of the cylinder pressure, so off of the fluid. It's just closing that caliper, so it needs to have the brake fluid still. So it's not 100% fail-safe, but it's nice to have that just in case. Okay, so now we're in the inside. Let me squeeze in here so I can explain what you're seeing. Climbing in here. Okay, so here is the Hydroboost coming through the firewall. I had to drill out this opening a little more so that the nut that's on the plate that holds the Hydroboost to that steel plate I was talking about in the front. So that nut is holding to the steel plate. The steel plate is bolted here. So, like I said, it's bolted there. Had to drill that opening. Used grade 8 bolts going through. And then I bought this fork and I cut it. Don't know if you can see it. And I welded it to the shaft and smoothed the shaft out so that I have full pedal. So yeah, that works. So I could use the factory pedal and the factory bracketing, and I didn't have to change anything. So it's got Hydroboost because I'm running a bigger cam. I didn't want to deal with vacuum and all that. It has Hydroboost 4-wheel disc brakes and stock rear end, Crown Vic front end, and stock bracketing here for the brakes. Need to put in, obviously, the throttle cable here, but I wanted to show you that. The other thing that I noticed is that this brake pedal sits really high. Like when you're driving the truck, you have to like lift your foot way up to put it on there. So depending on where the throttle lives, which I'm guessing it's going to live around there, I may cut this, cut a little triangle, bend it down, weld it back together, just to get the pedal a little lower, but we'll see. But that's how that works, and that's how I did the brakes. Like I said, I'll put the model numbers in there so that you guys can see how I did it. And obviously I haven't driven it yet, so it should work. So there you go, and thanks for watching.